Hey everyone, I'm Lex, and I'm here today to talk about the book Oblivion by Sasha. So I actually just finished this book yesterday, and I gave it a 5-star rating on Goodreads. I was completely taken aback by this book. This is probably the best read I've had since Name of the Wind, and Name of the Wind is my favorite book, and my second favorite book is Lies of Locke Lamora, and this has been such a good treat, like really an amazing treat. So what's different from Oblivion than you have with any other book, really, is every single character in this book is flawed, and I absolutely love that. I love having diverse characters, and I love having characters that you can't quite figure out. They're all kind of crazy, and they aren't crazy per se. The main character, I'll go ahead and just jump right into the review. The main character, Callie, or Calliope, I can't really pronounce her name because it's really kind of like a unique and wonderful name. I love it. But she is inflicted with a mental disorder called Graphomania. Graphomania, if you look it up on Google or Wikipedia or anything, really, Graphomania is a condition where someone has suffered from some trauma. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be brought on by trauma. But what happens is now they have a compulsion to write. And I mean, it's usually pretty babbly, like, they write, the words are spelt usually correctly, sometimes they aren't, sometimes O's are replaced with U's and stuff like that, but, it's kind of like having schizophrenia, where your mind is telling you words and you don't really know why. Instead of just hearing them in your head, you have to physically write them down, and that's what the main character, Callie, she is inflicted with this disorder, and she suffers some kind of crazy trauma in the very beginning, and the police find her, and you jump into the story about a year later, almost a year later, and she's coming up on the anniversary of the trauma that caused her to graph out, that she calls it graphing out. With this disorder comes all kinds of problems. She kind of goes into an extreme panic attack and has to write things down immediately, and I personally think that's because she doesn't give in to the disorder. She's kind of trying to fight it the whole time, and towards the end of the book she stops trying to fight it, and the attacks become more clear, and she actually kind of gets a little better, if not worse, at the same time. It's crazy, but it's awesome. It's so good. So you have Callie, and then you've got her foster sister, because she's in foster care now. You have her foster sister, Lindsay, which is kind of like a touch of Mean Girls with a touch of like massive insecurity. And Lindsay she's complicated because she's a little rich girl who most of us would sit there and think, oh, well, she's rich, she's got everything. But her parents are pretty much non-existent, and they don't really care what she does or doesn't do or anything, really. So they really just don't pay attention to her at all. So she's got parental issues, and she takes that out on pretty much everybody who crosses her in school. And at one point, even her foster sister, Callie, becomes the target of said wrath, and it's actually pretty terrible. Even though Lindsay was a royal bitch throughout most of it, I didn't hate her. I really didn't. I didn't understand her entirely, but I didn't dislike her. I understood that she was hurt and that she was taking that pain out. And Callie, the main character, also understands that, and which is why she probably doesn't hate Lindsay either. And then you've got Elijah. Elijah is Callie's on and off again boyfriend, whatever. They're kind of together, but they're kind of not, because he's not exclusive. He kind of runs around. And then he's okay. He's your stereotypical bad boy who was in juvie and is now in foster care as well. So he's interesting. He's not as complex of a character as I would have hoped, because really he's just a hot guy and he kind of does what he wants to do, and there's not really a whole lot to him. He's kind of your stereotypical ass, really. And then you've got John. John is the prospective boyfriend coming into Callie's life. Lindsay likes him. It's a complication there. So there's some romantic issues in this book, as well as all these complex psychological stuff. So, and then you've got parents. So you've got Callie's mom, who is now in a psych ward, because Callie's father, the reverend of the town that she lives in, put her mother into a psych ward. And I won't get into the details because that all comes out, and you find out why she's in the psych ward in the book. I, honest to God, loved every character in here. Probably not as much Elijah as everybody else, but I really enjoyed the reality of this book. Like, we all have flaws, every single one of us. So this was refreshing, that I didn't have a stereotypical cookie cutter character that was absolutely perfect in every single frickin' way. And this is just wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful way of showing that we're all crazy, in a sense. In a way, we all have flaws, and I loved that about the characters in this book. Every single one of them is flawed, and that brought a whole new reality into the book. So, the plot. So, what the plot is for this book is Callie being afflicted with Graphomania. After a year, she lost her memory for, I think, 3 days, and they found her muddy and bruised up without her pants in a bathroom in her old apartment, not even the one that she lives in her old apartment, and found her scrawling, "I killed him, I killed him, I killed him," all over the walls in her bathroom. And that she went missing for 3 days, along with a little girl named Hannah and her father, the reverend. Now, the book takes place with her trying to figure out if she actually killed her father and what happened to Hannah, or what in the world happened. And it slowly, and I do mean slowly, it slowly opens up to her memory, and she slowly starts to remember everything about what happened. And let me tell you guys, this is not a pretty story. This is not something that is going to be cushy and like, oh, love is in the air. Like, it's not that kind of story. This is a harsh reality, and it's a harsh story, and it's hard. But you know what? It was wonderful. And it does have a very enjoyable ending. So if you guys all want to get to the end, then you'll know what happened and what goes on. But overall, the setting is a contemporary. As a contemporary, the setting is set within our own time and within our own world. It's just bad people live in it, obviously. There's nothing supernatural in this book. It's just strictly psychology. Okay, and just to give you guys a little bit of background about Sasha Dawn, the writer. Here's a lovely picture. But she is actually teaches writing at a community college in Illinois, and she, honestly, everything I've seen on her is she's just a great writer, great person. I did see a few bad reviews on this, and mind you, when I say I've seen a few bad reviews, the lowest review I've seen is a 2.5 stars, I think. And really, the person that read it just didn't get it. Like, based off of the review, I honestly don't think they finished the book, to be honest. If any of you have seen the movie Memento and how it kind of goes backwards, you will get kind of the jumpy scenes a little bit from this book. I saw that some people had a hard time reading that. I did not have any trouble whatsoever reading this book. There are moments in the book where she graphs out, and I'll show you like a little snippet of what it looks like. Kind of looks like this, and like what it actually says is, walk not on the cobblestones, cobblestone, cobblestone, cobblestone paths of her memory in black-veiled grief to relieve you. Mourn not for her, mind, 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 her beauty, her mouth drawn down, so quick to believe you. It's kind of poetic, but they couldn't get past how jumpy it was and like how it would repeat the same words. Guys, that's Graphomania. That's how it actually is. So if you can't get through the graphing out of Callie in this book, you would not do very well as a graphomaniac. Just throwing that out there. Sasha made this book as kind of like a difficulty to show you the chaos that is part of being a graphomaniac. Like, I honestly felt some anxiety sometimes during her episodes because like, I wanted her to get a notebook. I wanted her to find a pen. I wanted her to be able to relieve herself of this condition. And I honestly think that's what Sasha Dawn had in mind. I loved the writing. I loved the characters. A lot of people didn't like that there was so many flawed characters. Well, I'm tired of perfect people being in books. That's not reality. That's not how this works. That's not our lives, people. That's not how we are. We're all flawed. Every single one of us. And I can't even imagine someone being perfect. And I would imagine that being very boring. So, I absolutely loved this book. I loved the writing. I loved how it was jumpy. I really thoroughly enjoyed this book, and I, honest to God, think that this is going to be a great one. And I can honestly see this one going out on movie or something in the future. Just have to get the word out about the book so that more people can actually review it. So, everybody, please go and pick up a copy of this. There is a contest going on right now, I think until the 27th, so you've got a few days. Up until June 27th, there is a contest so you can win a copy. I will see if I can't find the link for that contest and put it in the link in the description below. And, yeah, guys, go pick this up. Honestly, this is a fantastic read. So, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! My husband got me all of these. I'm so spoiled. I'm so excited. But I just want to show you what I got. I'm really excited, and I hope you guys will be too. So the first one I got is Selection by Kira Cass. Now I've heard a bunch of really good things about this.